ladies and gentlemen, to a very special report of Jerusalem's gate. Well, the war is on between Hamas and Israel. Hamas has been barraging Jerusalem and Israel with hundreds and hundreds of rockets. There's some Israeli citizens dead. And, this thing with Hamas has been on and off for such a long time, and Hamas has been building tunnels to sneak people in to kill Israeli citizens. They launching rockets, and what they want you to see, the Hamas people, is little children throwing rocks at these big Israeli tanks. That's what the image they want the world to see. But in secret, they're men and women that are in the Hamas that wants to kill the Jewish people and destroy the Israeli state. Now, mind you, right before this war broke out, I came out with a video about Israel. And I showed you the scriptures. God himself said, I will bless those that bless thee and curse those that curse thee. Now, if you don't believe that scripture, go back and look at Berlin after World War II. It looked like the bowels of hell because God turned it into the bowels of hell because what they did to the Jewish people. You know, isn't it coincidental back in World War II after the fall of Germany that they had a wall built around them and they had guard dogs and barbed wire? Exactly what they did to the Jewish people, God did to the Germans. Now, God's grace let Germany be unified, but let me tell you, Israel, I think, is getting to a point where this on and off again wars, in the meantime people sneaking over and launching rockets here and there, and Israeli people living under fear of their children or their wife or being killed by rockets or a Hamas attack, that I think Israel is saying, you know what, we got to end this once and for all. No more living under fear, terror. We got to end this once and for all. And if I was Netanyahu, I would do the same thing, and so would you, if you knew the facts. The Israeli people, I can tell this from firsthand experience. The Israeli people are a very peaceful people. You know, a lot of people say, well, they just surround themselves with other Jewish people. Well, so much bad things that happened to them for thousands of years, they tend to do that. But once you open up a friendship with them, they're the nicest people in the world. Well, I think Netanyahu is getting sick and tired of these on and off again scrimmages, and their citizens living under fear and terror. And if you lived in Israel and you had a wife and children, or if you had a wife, you would fear the same thing, and you would want it once and for all. Let's go in there for the long haul, and let's out Hamas once and for all and get it done with, instead of it going on forever. Like our endless war in Afghanistan, let Israel solve this Hamas problem once and for all. Yeah, it may be a long battle, but Israel will win. Just listen to my words. Israel will win, even if it takes God interceding himself. Well, I hate to rant, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm just tired of the way the international community looks at the Jewish people. And we owe everything to the Jewish people. Everything. Everything in our Bible. Jesus, Mary, Joseph. Everything from the Christian faith comes from the Jewish people. We're heavily indebted to them. Sorry about the rant again. I got a video that shows the attacks, the rocket attacks. It's only about 2 minutes long. Please watch it. You're watching, listening to another broadcast of Jerusalem Gate. Here comes the video.
Multiple fatalities and a sleepless night as heavy rocket fire from Gaza pounds central Israel. Following Tuesday's rocket and mortar assaults on Israel's south that murdered 2 Israelis, Hamas and Islamic Jihad terrorists trained their firepower on Tel Aviv and surrounding cities for the first time in 2 years. The first sirens went off around 9 p.m., sending Israelis scattering for shelter. For nearly 2 hours, Hamas fired 137 rockets at the region in an attempt to overwhelm Iron Dome interceptor batteries. One woman was killed in the city of Rishon LeZion, south of Tel Aviv. Shortly afterwards, riots ignited the Arab-Israeli city of Lod as Arab mobs torched Jewish-owned businesses and synagogues. At the same time, Israel's Air Force is operating in Gaza's skies. Airstrikes continued for 3 hours, leveling several high-rise buildings in Gaza. Central Israelis woke up to more sirens at 3 a.m. as Hamas fired a round of 110 long-range rockets at the region once more, killing a man in the Tel Aviv border city of Holon.
If they want to escalate, the resistance is ready. If they want to stop, the resistance is ready. If they want to move their hand out of Jerusalem, the resistance is ready.
The Air Force responds at 3:45 a.m. with a series of targeted strikes on the homes of senior Hamas officers and razes the Hamas intelligence building as well as police headquarters. Only about an hour later, Hamas fires the last fusillade of the night. An unknown number of rockets and mortars pound central cities again, killing 2 Arab Israelis in Lod. All the while, Israel continues its airstrikes on targets of opportunity and launch sites. As the conflict enters its 3rd day, it appears there will be scant rest for anyone on either side of the border.